Hi, I wanted to do a video on the amazing gallbladder and liver flush because so many people have been interested in it and asking me questions, etc. So I highly recommend that you just get the book. It's not expensive, especially if you've got a Kindle and you've got all the information there so that you get a real full understanding of what you're doing and why you're doing it. Because it would appear that for most of us, unless you're Dara Stara, we would release some gallstones and then we would have to keep flushing every 3 weeks to get all the stones out, because once some clear then the other ones can move down. My friend Dara only had 2 tiny little ones, but she's been a very clean living lady and she's brought up by a naturopath, so there's a good chance that that she just doesn't have any there. But we never really know until we've flushed a few times to make sure that that they're all gone. And according to Andreas Moritz, it's usually between 6 and 8 flushes before you get them out, but it can be up to a dozen times. So I think it's really powerful if you read the book. But if you're not wanting to read the book, I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it. You have to take apple juice, a litre of apple juice every day for 6 days. And what this does, it's the malic acid in the apple juice that softens the stones so that when you pass them there's no pain. And you can either that, or you can take, that's what I did, I used the apple juice, I just bought the carton stuff. You can juice it yourself if you want, but I didn't bother doing that, I just bought the carton stuff, a litre a day, it's dead easy. Or you can take 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar a day, which I'm going to try the next time and see how it works. Obviously I like to try things in my own body before I start saying to people what to do. Or you can take the 4 tablespoons in warm water throughout the day, a tablespoon every few hours, and that will do the same job. Or you can buy a malic acid food state supplement, which I couldn't get here anyway. So again, that would be another option for you. And that again in the run up the 6 days to make sure that any stones that are there are going to be very soft. And to be honest, I found it completely easy. There was nothing difficult about it, nothing stressful about it at all. So the run in for the 6 days, and he also recommends that you take out all animal products, so you be a vegan for these days and really clean the body out, which again was no big drama for me because I'm quite used to doing that. But I'm not entirely sure you have to do it. Maybe you do. I mean, people say, well, it could be dangerous. I'm not entirely sure how dangerous it could be. You might get some pain if you don't have enough malic acid, but I'm not really sure how dangerous it would be. There's always contraindications. Don't do this if you're pregnant. Don't do this if you're 6'12" or whatever. There's always everybody's got to cover their ass. I think you just need to be sensible. It depends where your diet's at right now. If it's very unclean and very processed and heavy in sugar and simple carbohydrates, then yeah, be sensible and clean it up for a few weeks before you try this. But if your diet's clean and good, there's another contraindication which says about medication as well, which we know that the liver flush really helps chronic and allegedly terminal disease, but he does say if you're on medication not to do it, but I think that's a disclaimer as well. I really can't see what the big drama would be, but anyway, go into your intuition and see if it feels right for you. I'm not telling you to do it if you're on medication, I'm just saying that I would. So the 6 days before, you have a pint of apple juice or your 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar or this malic acid supplement. And then on day 7, and you have to have Epsom salts because they're actually the thing that moves everything through. On day 7, you have breakfast and lunch as per normal, and then you don't eat anything from lunchtime onwards. When it comes to 6 o'clock at night, you have a tablespoon of Epsom salts, and then again at 8 o'clock at night you have another tablespoon of Epsom salts. That's probably, they're not that particularly nice, but I mean seriously, in the grand scheme of things, it's not the worst thing I've ever drunk. Then at 9:45, you take half a cup of olive oil, cold pressed olive oil, and I mixed it with the juice of a lemon and the juice of an orange, and to be honest, it was perfectly delicious to drink. Some people say you need to hold your nose or drink it with a straw. I had absolutely no problem, but I do have a lot of salad dressings, but again, there's no drama here. It was easy to drink. 9:45, you drink it standing up, and then you go immediately to your bed, and you just lie down with the lights out. And so then I thought, well, I'm going to be up to the toilet all night. I got up to the toilet about 1, obviously, just because I'd been drinking all that stuff. And then I slept very peacefully through till the morning. And then you take, at 6 a.m, you take another tablespoon of Epsom salts, and there was nothing, I have to say, nothing much exciting came out. Then it wasn't until I took the next lot at 8 o'clock of Epsom salts, that's when I started to see things floating. So yeah, I had a lot of little stones, which I totally expected after 56 years of debauchery and never really cleansing, you know, my organ like that before. I'd never done anything like that before, although I've done lots of juice fasts and dry fasts and water fasts. I've fasted lots of times, but and I do drink a lot of juice on a daily basis. You just go to the toilet. What can I say? It's a bowel movement. There's no pain. You would never know there was anything there until you look in the toilet. It was complete walk in the park for me. Then you eat it. What I did was I made juice, and I just had it and I started drinking that at lunchtime. So there is, I suppose, if you look at it, a fast from lunchtime one day till lunchtime or midday the next day, but it's really not that big a drama because you've got this Epsom salts to do, and then, you know, to me it was easy. The other thing that you might want to talk to my good friend Stephanie Campbell about, if you're in Glasgow, and I know they do it, the Fortina here, is getting colonics on day 5, day 6, so that you're, you know, really cleansing out the colon as well. I didn't do that. I didn't even do coffee enemas. I was going to, and to be honest, I forgot, and it was fine. So if you're following it, if you are a details person, get the book. There's a really good blog by David Wolfe that gives you step by step. But as I say, it was really easy. I have no qualms about doing it again. But every 3 weeks you can do it, or you can leave it a little bit longer. But every 3 weeks you can do it until you're till your gallbladder and your liver flush clean. But let me tell you about the very interesting health benefits. Now, to be honest, I didn't do this. Obviously, I was interested to see, and I knew there would be a build up in my kidneys and my gallbladder and liver. I knew that it was highly likely. But as you probably know, if you've been following my blogs, etc., I've been having a really distended belly since the menopause, really. Never really, and high inflammation in my internal organs, you know, and I've tried lots of things, and with a varying degrees of success, but then if I'm not really careful, it comes back, and it's never really fully been away. A lot of aches along in my lower back, around the sacral joint, and also in my lower abdomen, where I actually got cut open for an operation years ago. So I was having quite a lot of discomfort. I can't say it was agony or anything like that, but I was very aware of it, and it was, you know, sometimes I'd have to lie down to get rid of the discomfort. Anyway, that's gone. Now, I would never have thought that would have helped that. So I'm really, really intrigued. The pain in my back it comes and goes anyway, so I can't really say it's definitely that. It certainly seems better, but I know that the distension in my stomach, I didn't want to say anything about it. I mean, that's now 2 weeks since I did it. So I didn't want to say anything too soon, because, you know, some days you just feel better than others. So I wasn't really sure if it was that, but it certainly seems that something has clearly cleared. So that's fantastic news. And I think that's really all the information I need to talk to you about. As I say, I just recommend that you buy the book and do your own research. I think we're now living in this age of fear. Well, don't do if this happens, and you need to, you know, do this for 3 months before, and you need to do that, and you need to do that, and I'm just not really entirely sure that all of that's true. As I say, for me, it was easy compared to some of the other things that I've done, and compared to the last fast that I did. It was completely and utterly fine, and as I say, it's really helped my the bloating in my abdomen, which has been fantastic. So if I can help you in any way, if you want any advice, as I say, there's tons of information on YouTube about it, loads of testimonials, because basically you're clearing out your drains. You know, if your kidneys and your liver and your colon are not allowing the waste out, what do you think the body's going to do with it? So I think this is a very, very powerful, understated way to really move a lot of toxicity through the body. And even before you wanted to start a detox, I think it's a really good idea to cleanse the liver first. Cleanse the kidneys, cleanse the liver and cleanse the colon, and really make sure that your routes of elimination are free, because people are getting phenomenal results by doing this. And I think, you know, particularly if you're from Scotland or Malta, you know, you may have given the liver quite a lot of hard work over the years. So it's quite nice to give it a wee treat, look after it. Anyway, that's all for now. Hope it was helpful for you. Chat soon. Ciao.